to the Quarantine Comedy Festival. Thank you for watching. My name is April May Ohms, and I'm the Vice President of the South Hills Players. I produced and edited the Quarantine Comedy Festival. The South Hills Players is proud to present all these wonderful, local, talented people performing original work. We are excited to become a source for local original productions. This is our second original show this year. We held our Laugh at Love Comedy Festival in February. February, I remember you fondly, as a month where we could hold live shows, eat at restaurants, go to work, visit friends, but mostly do live shows. If you missed our February show, you can get clips on our Facebook page and our website, thesouthhillsplayers.com. So let me quickly talk about an uncomfortable subject: money. We are presenting this show for free, but we are also asking for donations. It's a tricky thing to say please donate, especially when so many people have been out of work for so long. And why should you donate to a theater or an artist at all? Well, we're all struggling in our own ways, but the people who contributed to tonight's show went out of their way to create something to make art for you, really. They hope to make you laugh and forget that you've been stuck inside for 2 months. They want to bring a bit of joy to your day. These writers and performers have a dream that art is valuable to society, and that's my dream too. The South Hills Players want to help fuel this dream so that the talented folks in Pittsburgh and Western PA have a really nice outlet for their creativity, and so that you, our audience, can smile and relax and laugh a bit during this pandemic. If you'd like to help us dream and thrive and create, and pay it forward by sharing these proceeds with the creators of the Quarantine Comedy Festival, then we have 3 easy options for you. First of all, you can go to www.patreon.com/thesouthhillsplayers and become a sustaining member at 4 different levels. Now, you've heard of sustaining members probably on NPR and maybe at the library or a museum. It's very easy. There's 4 levels. We have $10, $5, $3, and $2 per month. I mean, that's really nothing. It's like 1 less latte a month, or maybe 1 less bag of quarantine snacks per month. As a patron, you get early access to anything that we post. Plus, you also get exclusive access to blooper reels, Q&As. Plus, you get discounts on tickets to live events whenever that is allowed to happen again. Everybody, fingers crossed, live theater 2020. If you'd rather make a one-time donation, go to paypal.me/thesouthhillsplayers. You don't even need a PayPal account to donate. It's super simple. And lastly, if you like stuff, and who doesn't like stuff? I've been buying way too much bizarre stuff lately. Anybody else? We have stuff for you. T-shirts, mugs, magnets, stickers, tote bags. T-shirts come in men's sizes, women's sizes, and baby sizes, like kids. So please go to fluiditytheater.threadless.com and you can buy any of the gear that you want. And it has the Quarantine Comedy Festival logo on it with the date, so you always have a commemorative item. It's pretty cool. My theater troupe, Fluidity Theater, already had the store, so I'm helping by putting the South Hills Players Quarantine Comedy Festival gear on my store. See, it's easy to help and fun too. A personal thank you to all the people who answered our call for submissions and monologues and skits and actors and songs. I really appreciate your creativity and your hard work and your desire to make people laugh. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for watching, and please enjoy the Quarantine Comedy Festival.
So, We're just waiting for Susan.
Did everyone get the spreadsheets I sent this morning? I stayed up late getting them right. Susan is such a stickler for details.
Yes, she likes her I's dotted and her T's crossed, for sure. Oh.
I think 50-some days into working from home, some people might loosen up a bit.
So did you both see them? We have a lot to do in this meeting.
Oh, I didn't see them. Let me recheck my email.
There's always one that doesn't check.
Your audio is on.
Huh?
Jackasses. I do all the work and they never even bother to read it.
Your audio is on.
I got it. Got it.
Hey, the boss's nephew got it. Awesome.
Susan's about to join the meeting.
Okay, everybody, on their best behavior, all right? Hey, Susan.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Happy hour Zoom meeting. What's everybody drinking? Oh, yeah. How's everybody doing? Woohoo!
Susan, we're meeting about the budget.
Hi, happy hour Zoom meeting. Where is everybody?
Susan, it's Tuesday.
Where's that hot guy who used to bring me coffee? I thought he would be here.
Do you mean Kim, who works at the cafe downstairs? Oh, were we supposed to invite those guys, or?
Susan, it's the Tuesday financial meeting. Did you get my email this morning?
I got something for you, Miss Tuesday tight what tidy pants. I know you're gonna love it. Oh, here it is. Ready? Oh yeah. Well, you like that, don't you, Margot? You silver fox.
This is the best meeting ever.
Dan, do not post that photo.
And he's already posted it on Instagram.
What?
Susan is the president of the company. She has to maintain a certain image. Now take that down.
Too late. It's already got 10,000 likes.
That's right. Susan is popular. People like Susan. Check out these tatas. These are real.
Oh no!
Amazing.
Susan, Dan, stop taking pictures.
Wait. Very, very important question. A very important question to ask you. Hold on. Very serious. Who needs a drink? I got my bar. Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh look, Dan, my favorite nephew.
Am I your favorite? Aw.
Yeah, also my only nephew. What are you drinking?
This morning I've got a double espresso because it was up until 4 a.m. and I almost didn't wake up.
Nice to see the young folks burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, well, more like me and my buds were on Twitch playing Arma and the time got away from us. I'm sure you know how it is.
What's Twitch?
Oh, I got your Twitch right here.
It's a platform for gamers and stuff. Are we actually going to have this meeting? Because if not, I might grab a few Z's before the 1 p.m. board meeting.
Let's get serious. I have a really important question. Way more important than the drinking question. I stayed up all night watching the show. I can't really explain it. I'm going to show you. Have you guys seen the show? Oh my God. There's like, I don't know, it's crazy. There's a tiger and a lady who's a cuckoo and...
Okay. If we're really going to talk about this, then I need to do something.
Alex wants me to take off. Oh, Margot. Hey, I knew you You aren't such a tightwad as you look. Okay, let's break this down.
Aunt Susan, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll see you at the board meeting at 1.
Okay, bye.
Do I have to stay?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to have fun? Or are you a stick in the mud? Would you rather we get serious? I can take off my wig. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Susan, really? A second wig? Susan, I feel like you're flouting my authority in front of my team.
Oh.
Pink hair. I don't care. I'm Friday. Happy hour zone party. Woohoo! Oh, God.
It's Tuesday!
Oh. What?
Okay. So do you think Carol fed her husband to the tigers?
Girl, I do. Let's drink to tigers. Cheers.
It's 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Let's drink to tigers.
Oh, yeah. I could drink anything.
Woo-hoo.
I got a good party background for us, too. Woohoo! I'll drink to anything. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the quarantine and how it's changed everyone's life. But today we're talking, I guess, about my life. At the start of it, I was laid off for about a month. And I looked at it as an opportunity to help with my kids with the online learning, spend time doing all the things I didn't have time for before. Walks, cleaning, organizing, getting a puppy. I found out several things during this journey. I come from a family of teachers, but I am not cut out to be a damn teacher, at least not the online kind. So I give teachers all the props in the world for the job that they do. Maxwell at first couldn't log on, then didn't want to log on, and then anytime anything didn't work, it was always my fault. Leave me alone, Mom. You're psycho. Your psycho became our everyday conversation. What I really wanted to say is, I'm not psycho yet, but if the psycho is unleashed, you'll be running and screaming. I also haven't been in 6th grade for years, or 11th in even more years. So with this math, I cannot help. And now it's this Common Core shit. And what the fuck is that? They actually found a way to make math even more complicated, like it needed the help. And physics, I'm sorry, Caleb, but just forget it. So online school started, shall we say, a little rocky. The walks were great. I would take walks with Michaela and Maxwell. After walk number 714, when an outdoor dog that was drooling and gnarling and running sideways like Cujo got loose, and Max and I had to make a break for it. I did learn also that my desire to not always clean and organize was no stronger now that I actually had the time to do these things. I still don't want to do it. But I did. I cleaned everything. At one point, I was even lining up Band-Aids inside the package. We did get our adorable quarantine puppy named Finn. He's great, but potty training came slowly because, of course, the next day after we got the dog, I was called back to work. So now I have to constantly search the house for petrified dog turds that may have happened during the day while I was at work. So I help students with their financial aid at a trade school, but now everything is done online or remotely via phone and computer. The problem is that most of our students are not very tech savvy at all. They're trying to do the FastFile on a bad cell phone. Half the time the call drops, they lose Wi-Fi, they don't know how to scroll down the page. Work thinks that doing Zoom calls would be the magic fix. My thing is that if a student is doing the FastFile on a bad cell phone while half the time crapping, and I actually hear the toilet flush while we're talking, what would make you believe that they would be able to get on the Zoom call? And if they did get on the Zoom with me, it's literally just all tits and chins. So yes, hey, this is Tits McGee. Let me help you with your financial aid. I mean, sure, we may get more enrollments, unless they have the problem with double chins, but still. I'm also a mouth breather, so I don't know about anybody else, but wearing the mask is a hot mess, and I'm taking gloves on and a mask on and off and on and off. And then the mask moves up and up on my face and is blinding me. I'm hoping for all of us, for many reasons, that this quarantine is over soon. Please.
Greetings from isolation. Hey, it's Steve Gallagher here, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the best day of my life. The best day of my life was the day my son was born. It was also the most terrifying day of my life, but, you know, we're not going to go into that part. You know, just rest it to say, I never thought I was going to be a father. You know, I just didn't think it was in the cards for me, but, you know, it happened. Kind of by accident, but, you know, it happened. And, you know, accident doesn't sound great, but, you know, he didn't want to say it was a mistake, because it wasn't. He's a cool kid. But I never pictured myself as a dad. Until we had that first ultrasound. And you got to hear the little heartbeat, and we found out that it was a boy. And then all of a sudden, everything synced in. Okay, because ladies, here's the thing. Guys, whether they want to have kids or not, have thought about the things that they're going to teach their son from the day that they're young. You know how you do it with weddings and everything like that? Yeah, that's us with our sons. I was going to teach him all the good stuff. Like, I was going to teach him about football. I was going to teach him how to wrestle. I was going to teach him hiking, camping, fishing. You know, I was going to teach him how to change the oil on a car. I was going to teach him all of these things. And my son was born. And I looked down at him, and he was massive. Yeah, this was the biggest damn baby you've ever seen in your life. All right, he was 22 inches long and weighed 10 pounds, 9 ounces. He came out a linebacker. Oh, I was thrilled, all right, because I was ready. You thought this kid was going to sit up and start talking to you. He was so big. At birth, he fit loosely into 6-month clothes, okay? My ex-wife's C-section was sponsored by Gorilla Glue because they weren't sure they were putting her back together. It was awesome. I was ready. And that was the day I slowly started learning that everything I'd planned for was irrelevant. Because, you see, I am an old-fashioned dad with a newfangled kid. My son is the most mellow, down-to-earth, peaceful kid you've ever met in your life. I don't know where he got it. I'm sure as hell didn't come from me, because you know what? None of you have ever said, you know, that Steve Gallagher is just so calm. No, it doesn't happen. But here I am, okay? He's peaceful, tranquil, down to earth, relaxed, okay? Nothing bothers this kid. Here I am yelling at him because he did something wrong. Does he yell back? No. Does he fight back? No. Does he throw a temper tantrum? No. He comes up to me, hugs me around the legs and says, I'm sorry, Dad. I'll try to do better next time. What the shit is that? Okay? Nowhere in the playbook doesn't teach you how to deal with, I'm sorry, Dada, I'll try to do better next time. Oh. It is absolutely infuriating sometimes, because here I am trying to discipline my child, and he just takes it. And it's like, oh yeah, I could see how that would be frustrating. Are you kidding me? The kid is a pacifist. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He has been in one fight in his entire life, and he's 9 now. You know how many fights I was in by the time I was 9? It was a good fight, though. I'll tell you a little bit about it to wrap up here. My son and my niece are a month apart in age. So they got to go to the same nursery school together when they were young. Well, there was this other kid. Yeah, that's the one thing you'll learn. There's always this other kid. Okay? And this other kid was the second biggest kid in the class. I say the second biggest, because you know who the biggest was? That's right, my son. But for as much of a mellow, pacifist, just relaxed kid my son is, yeah, this little dickhead was the exact opposite. And I know what you're saying, Steve. You can't call a nursery school kid a dickhead. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And you know what? Fuck that kid. Fuck his parents. Because this little terrorist just took glee in making every other kid in that class's life hell. All right? First day we saw it, he just came over and started grabbing and shaking this other kid. And my son's just like, Dada, why is he doing that? And I turned to my son and I'm like, I don't know, pal, but it's not really our business. Second day, he comes up to another kid, pushes him to the ground. My son comes to me and says, Dada, why is he doing that? I don't know, buddy. I guess his parents didn't raise him right. Third day, he's dragging this little kid by their hair across the playground. My son says to me, Dada, why is he doing that? So I finally turned to my son and I'm like, it's what happens when you smoke crack when you're pregnant, son. I don't know what to tell you. Well, the fourth day, this little bastard decides to put his hands on my niece. And I was just waiting to hear, Dada, why is he doing that? But I never did hear it, because all I heard was this sickening thud. You see, I looked down and my son has done what is a little kid version of a double leg takedown and was just on top of the kid swinging at his head. And I tell you, the form was god-awful. All right, there was no skill to it at all. He wasn't really hitting too many blows, but he was throwing them. And that's the important thing. And I was proud. And I felt bad that I was proud. But this kid needed to be taught a lesson, and my son was the one that was doing it. And that is awesome. But here comes this kid's mother over to me. The same mother who has watched her son terrorize an entire nursery school class. And she just comes to me and she's like, well, aren't you going to do something? And I turn to her and I say, yeah, I'm going to take my son for ice cream afterwards. Yeah, that's right. And when he's getting up, if he decides to step on your little shit son's head, I'm letting the motherfucker get sprinkles. Probably not the best response I could have made, but, you know, it was the one that I had at the moment. And, well, next thing you know, next day I'm there and I'm asked to come inside and talk to people. Did I mention the nursery school was in a church basement? Yeah. I had to go and talk to the minister and his secretary because the other kid's parent filed a complaint. So I went in there and I listened to the secretary read off everything I said in detail. I gotta tell you, by the time this ancient-looking old woman got to, and if he steps on his head, I'm gonna let the motherfucker have sprinkles, I couldn't hold it together anymore. I'm like, listen, the little kid's a bastard. He's been messing with every kid in the class. He got what he had coming to him. I'm sorry if that's a problem, but I'm not sorry for what I said. And the minister looks at me and he's like, sir, I have had many parents in my lifetime tell me that, the kind of things that you just said, but you're the first one ever to have that hardcore dad attitude that comes into my office wearing a DuckTales t-shirt. And I looked down and I did have my DuckTales t-shirt on. Hey, you could be a hard ass and still appreciate late 80s, early 90s cartoons. It is possible. So I excused myself from the minister's office and everything, and I picked my son up. And I decided that if that was ever going to happen again, my son was going to be ready. But I found out that they do not make nursery school size impact gloves. But you know what they do make? Giant foam Hulk hands. So guess what he got for Christmas that year? And I made him start swinging at a bag with them. And every time he did it, he had to say, don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Have a good night, everybody.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, live in a neighborhood near you, the Pittsburgh Garage Sale. From Avalon to Zillionople, Fox Chapel to Fort Couch, and Perryopolis to Pittsburgh. Locals will be selling their wares and whatnots at bargain prices. Join the biggest urban garage sale in the country. Replace that chair in the street for a card table and sell what you don't use anymore. Don't have anything to sell? Then come on down and buy something to build up that collection that you have in your cellar. Buy or sell, you just can't miss the event. Times and locations can be found at the PittsburghGarageSale.com. It doesn't get any better than this. Be there!
Friends, to our Friday morning Zoom class. Today we have a song from Miss Julie and letters from Miss Tanya, and I have a short science lesson to present.
Hey friends, is it Friday? Which class is this?
Honey, this is kindergarten class. You were here to sing us a song in a bit?
Right, yes, I am. Sorry, I haven't slept. I'm wearing my PJs.
Good morning, class. I see that all my lovely kids are here. Sorry, Miss Tanya is a little disheveled this morning. I was up late texting some random woman who thinks I was trying to steal her husband.
Tanya is so funny as ever. Can you tell us the two letters we are talking about today? Oh.
Yes. We are talking about the letters V and W. V and W. Miss Amanda, we will start with the letter V. V can be at the beginning of a word, but if it's at the end, it will usually be followed with an E, like in the letter, the word love. Love. L-O-V-E. Love. Love, that's a word that means a lot of different things to different people, friends. Women like to think that love means that their partner will take care of them and make money and pay the bills and treat them nicely. Men tend to think that love means 3 minutes on the couch, then bringing them a beer.
Okay, thank you, Miss Tanya. V also starts the word very. V-E-R-Y, as in Miss Tanya is in a very bad mood today, friends. Even grown-ups can have bad days. That's a good lesson, Miss Tanya. Friends, if you are feeling bad today, try taking a deep breath. And another. I find that if I breathe deeply, a lot of my bad feelings just flow away. Now, how about let's give Miss Tanya a break, and Miss Julie can sing us a new song she wrote about washing hands. So fun.
Oh. Hi, class. So nice to see all my kindergarten friends this morning. Since I saw you last week, I've been writing a song just for you about washing hands. I hope you like it. If you catch on, you can sing along. All right. Let's wash our hands, both front and back. Use lots of soap, now do not slack. Let's wash our hands, gotta get our thumbs. Don't touch your face, now don't be dumb. Let's wash our hands, let's get our wrists, and in between our fingertips. Let's wash our hands, you gotta stay clean. When in a group, stay away 6 feet. Let's wash our hands, gotta wear a mask. The Constitution says it's allowed, let's ask. According to the Supreme Court, in Jacobson versus Massachusetts from 1905, where this court ruled that the rights of the individual in respect of his liberty may at times under pressure of great dangers be subjected to restraint to be enforced by reasonable regulations as the safety of the general public may demand. Let's wash our hands, both front and back. Use lots of soap, now do not slack. Let's wash our hands, get your thumbs and wrists, and now let's rinse, 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 rinse.
Holy Hannah, wow, that's quite an interesting song. Thank you, Miss Julie. It looks like some of our friends closed their Zoom. Oh, yes. Here in the chat, we have comments from parents. Okay, parents, we will definitely talk to Miss Julie about that song after this class is over, I assure you. Mr. Jacobson, can you please stop sending conspiracy memes to the chat? Everyone can see them. Yes, Mr. Jacobson, I know it's you. You were logged into your son's account and I can see you sitting there. You know this Zoom is two-way, right? Okay, I'm closing the chat for today, friends, because some adults don't know how to behave in a kindergarten class. Miss Tanya, before I get too mad and let my feelings out about Mr. Jacobson, how about another letter?
You might want to breathe. Our second letter of the day is W. W is for a lot of good words like wine and women. I bet your mommies and daddies have been drinking a lot of wine over the past 2 months, haven't they, kids? Miss Tanya drinks white during the day and red at night. That's how she knows what time it is.
Hey, stop! We are done today, friends. Miss Amanda will save science for Monday after we all have a nice, relaxing weekend, and maybe Miss Tanya can stop drinking so much and Miss Julie can sleep and rethink her songwriting career.
Did you say goodbye? Are we gonna sing the goodbye song?
Oh, no, shut it down.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, all right.
No. Have a nice weekend, kids.
The Quarantine Comedy Festival is sponsored by Generic quarantine snacks. Peanut butter bars. Random crackers. What are you gonna do? Eat the last bagel? No. Generic quarantine snacks. They'll satisfy your hunger. Don't even look in the freezer. Generic quarantine snacks.
So, you want to know why I'm breaking up with you? Okay. It's because you finished first. And I know that a lot of other guys do. Come on, we've been honest with each other. You know that I've had other boyfriends, other lovers before you. What the hell? I have brothers. With other guys, it's every now and again. But with you, it's all the time. At home, in that porta potty at Point State Park, even on that plane when we were going to Toledo. And I am pissed. I mean, you've finished and I've barely even started. You just don't seem to care. I mean, I'm trying to finish as quickly as I can and you're rolling your eyes. You've got your arms crossed and you even have the audacity to make bad jokes about it at parties. It's not the love thing. I do love you, but I've made up my mind. I can't live with you any longer. And it's all because of how quickly you can pee. It became so clear to me that night that we went to the Bare Naked Ladies concert at the Post-Gazette Pavilion. We got there early. We were still in the parking lot. We both agreed it would make more sense to use the porta potties rather than risk long lines inside. They were all in use, but when one became available, you were kind enough to let me go first. I went in and I was wrestling with my clothes, bib overalls, of course. I was unbuttoning, unbuckling, unzipping when I heard you entering the porta potty next door. I hadn't even turned around to sit when I heard you exit. With a guy, it's zip, whip, but no wipe. You have no idea how difficult it is to go in a public women's restroom. When the door into the restroom opens, your challenge has only just begun. You are usually greeted by a mirror. I think this is a devious architectural delaying tactic because you're also usually waiting in line. So you take mini eternity to do your first hair frou-frou. Finally, you get to the head of the queue. A stall door swings open and somebody's grandmother shuffles out, clutching her purse. You have no choice. You have to use that stall. There are 17 women behind you with busting bladders, blathering babies, and bad attitudes. Now, it would be entirely different if no one else was there, if you owned the place, like the woman's room at Home Depot. Oh, wow. You can pick, you can choose, you can look in and see which stall has toilet paper. You can reject a stall because it's not been flushed. You can even use the handicap stall with all that glorious space with no guilt. But no, you're not at home. You're not even at Home Depot. You've got no choice. You've got to use that stall. Before you even close the stall door, you notice the dewdrops on the seat. And you wonder to yourself, how do they get there in a women's room? So, with resignation, you turn, close the door. Again, you turn around and face your antagonist. First, you see that there is paper in the Iron Maiden of a holder. You know what I mean, that huge roll of paper locked behind a translucent piece of plastic, and the end of the roll is dangling just inside the shell, protected by a series of serrated teeth. These are designed to bite you as your fingers fumble to retrieve your prize. But lo, like an angel from the heavens, the end of the toilet paper finally descends, and you are able to wipe away the sins of the surface. Thus begins the great disrobing. First, the purse, which, if I'm really lucky, there is a shelf. If not, a hook. But more often than not, just the floor. Then the coat goes on the hook, and last, my glasses. Yes, my glasses, because I blow my nose. Then my suit top, then my pants. We're not even going to talk about a skirt and hose. Now, we're just going to assume that the floor is not a disgusting swamp like it was at the Bare Naked Ladies, because if it is, then I'm on my tippy toes. I've got my coat on my back, my purse in my teeth, my right hand on the wall for stability, my left hand pulling aside clothing that is around my knees, and I am praying for accuracy. Now, because I'm being nice to you, we've ignored the skirt and hose, the swamp, and now I'm going to give you a bye on my period. You're welcome. Finally, Her Highness gets to sit upon her throne and address the business of state. For this one short, brief, fleeting, shining moment during this torturous experience, it is good to be the queen. But alas, all too quickly it ends. And again, you have to face the serrated teeth of death. With a careful grab of tissue, a conscientious wipe of the nether regions, and a hearty hi-ho silver, the re-robing begins. Now, it is my personal policy not to flush until you are quite ready to exit. That toilet is a grenade with a pin pulled. When you hit that valve, one of two things is going to happen. One, you're going to be hit by toilet water shrapnel. Or two, that bastard is going to overflow. You've got to be ready to run. And may the son of a bitch who invented that automatic sensor toilet flusher thingy be damned to hell, because that thing goes off while you're still getting up and gets you splashed again, every time. Then you face a waterlogged counter. No place to put your purse, a sink dirtier than the toilet, liquid soap that looks like Pearl Jam, crotch crumbs splashing at the next sink, an empty towel dispenser, that stupid hand hair dryer sucks rather than blows, and you just end up wiping your hands on your clothes. You exit the stall and are immediately reconfronted by another mirror. You do one last makeup check, hair frou-frou, and exit the women's room, hoping never to return again. You have escaped the obstacle course of diaper tables and dirty towel dispensers. You are free, alive, and in one piece. And there stands the man you love, arms folded, rolling his eyes, and whistling the theme from Jeopardy. So you see, I have no choice. I have made up my mind. This thing has grown between us, and I'm pissed off. I am going to miss you. You're a sensitive man, a giving friend, and a really adequate lover. But we can't change who we are. I need this. Please remember, we will always be friends. And from now on, I swear that I am only going to date men with enlarged prostates.
Ever since the day I first saw you, I hoped to win you somehow. Now I'm staying in till pickings are slim, 'cause someday this shit's going down. I'm gonna build me a shelter made of concrete and of steel. I'll fill it up with water and ready to eat meals. Rifles, bullets, kerosene, it's all part of my plan. You'll finally take a chance on me when I am the last man. Now we all know it's coming in some way, shape, or form. Maybe mutant zombie hippies or freaky solar storm that wipes out all the telecom, destroys the power plants. You'll have no choice but to fall for me when I am the last man. If you stay here in my fallout shelter, I'll keep you safe from harm. Don't care if the world goes helter-skelter if you're here in my arms. Now I know your fella Jerry ain't quite right in the head, and when the shit gets hairy, the first to wind up dead. But I'll be sitting pretty and you'll finally understand I'm not having bad catch after all when I am the last man. Now Desmond, he's a smart one and he's good at fixing cars, but when there's no more gasoline he won't be getting far. He'll stall out in an open field and then they'll eat his face, but you won't see such tragedies if you're here in my place. If you stay here in my fallout shelter, I'll keep you safe from harm. Don't care if the world goes helter-skelter if you're here in my arms. Now I've got your favorite novels and a couple good guitars, some games to play for a rainy day and a fully stocked wet bar. When all the world around becomes a dangerous wasteland, we'll live it up in my little hut, they'll all be gone, we'll carry on. The world of shit won't mind a bit, we're safe and sound here underground. I'll win it all just by default when I am the last man.
Sitting in my car in the parking lot of the grocery store. I don't want to go in. Tired. I have my period and I think I pulled several muscles in my lower back over the weekend carrying some heavy boxes and awkward bags, and quarantine cleaning might put me in traction. We need fresh food, so I do have to go in. It just feels bad today. Cold. Did I mention that I've been cold all weekend? When did I start being so cold so often? I used to be hot and sweaty, down to temperatures of freezing. And my hairline sweats the mere hint of sunshine. In my underboob area, it sweats constantly if I'm honest. Suddenly, I'm one of those women that wears a sweater when it's 80 degrees. It's probably because I'm past 40 and my body can't decide if it's a young woman of childbearing years or a dry full crone. But I am getting older, and mostly that's okay. I'm 47 and a half now. Say that like a kid, but I think every month counts, really. The difference between being 37 and 38 was one day, but it was startling. I woke up on my 38th birthday and looked in the mirror, and there was this deep crevasse between my eyes where there was once a smooth forehead. It had certainly not been there the night before when I was 37 years and 364 days old. When I was exactly 38 years old, it appeared, poof, like an earthquake had split my face into two hemispheres that would never quite match up again. So when I say I'm 47 and a half, you see how even one day can change your life, your perspective, your face. Having had time to think during the pandemic has been both a blessing and a curse. I find that I am more accepting of my own flaws and more understanding that everyone is going through something, but I'm also starting to face my own mortality in ways that were usually reserved for 4 a.m. bouts of insomnia. The problem is, I'm not sleeping, like at all. I was up recently till 6 a.m. and let me tell you, 47-and-a-half-year-old women were not built for all-nighters. In college, I used to stay up all night working on a French paper. And then I'd go to class all day and work and then stay up fairly late the next night. That's probably how I developed my Diet Dr. Pepper addiction. I don't like coffee, so I had to stay awake somehow. But not anymore. I gave up soda years ago and tried to consume caffeine in small quantities because, did you know that as you get older, your body becomes more sensitive to chemicals? Well, it does. I can't drink alcohol, eat avocados, or be around cigarette smoke. I have lost my tolerance for fun. So here I am trying to motivate myself to go grocery shopping, having an existential crisis in my car in the Aldi parking lot. This mental breakdown brought to you by the pandemic, hormones, and middle age. I can do this. Maybe I'll get some chocolate ice cream. Anyway, Kim, I know this has been a long voicemail. Sorry to go off on a tangent. I hope you're well. Call me back when you have time to chat. Okay, stay safe. Bye.
So I was going to perform a monologue for you guys tonight, but then I just decided to talk about my life because honestly, I can't make this fucking shit up. So I did it. I made my last car payment. I own my car. My car is a little black car named Foxy. I name everything. Now, anybody who knows my car, knows me, or has seen me in my car knows what a fucking ridiculous name that is, because there is not one damn sexy thing about my car. Foxy is a 2003 Hyundai Elantra with rust spots, paint chips, scrapes and scratches. The check engine light comes on every day. I just look at that light as just a suggestion, not really anything that you have to follow through. I just blast my A Star is Born soundtrack and drown that shit out because fuck, I know my car, right? In recent developments, the driver's side door handle has started to, come off in my hand as I'm getting into my car. Now, there's nothing more humiliating than when you're out to dinner with friends or after an audition or at a gathering and your girlfriends or friends, oh, hey, Meg, let me walk you to your car or drive you over to your car. It's dark out. And I have to go, girl, no, I got this. I'm a big girl. Don't worry about me, because there is no subtle way for your friends to watch you climb across your passenger seat and, like one of the Duke brothers, bang your ass or your legs on the console or whatever the shit that panel thing is in the middle and airdrop yourself like one of the Dukes into your seat. There is no subtle way to do this. Also, I am a horrible driver, and let me tell you, I am the worst. GPS and Uber were literally invented for my ass. But I still have the nerve to have road rage. With no air conditioning and no horn, the electric in my car really just does not work at all. But I still have road rage. So imagine it's 90 degrees in heat and you just cut me off, and I'm irritated. So I have to drive up next to you, try to make eye contact or make some sort of horn gesture or an obscene gesture, even better, if I can even make eye contact to get to the point where you actually see me. God forbid you ask me to step outside or get out of my car. Well, I can step out, baby. I just can't step back in again. There is no way to exit your car without a door handle. Anyway, but on a good note, I have no car payment.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Brian Kadlecik. Hope you're having a good time already. Hope I'm not the opening act. Hey, I've come across some funny things in life, and I don't know. I think you might be able to identify with some of these things. But one of the things we go out and we drive around, and I swear everybody drives like it's NASCAR or something, or a video game, zipping in and out like it's a game. I mean, and they keep making these games more realistic by adding police and stuff. I know how they can make it more real. How about making it that when you wreck your car, an insurance agent shows up and you can't drive your car for 2 months while it gets fixed? I mean, or you wait a week for a rental car. How about going to court for reckless driving? Is that more realistic? Speaking of NASCAR, you know, They say that that's an acronym, but it's not. Does anybody know what the real name, how NASCAR got its name? Well, back in the day of the moonshine runners, there was a backwoods mechanic that was showing off his buddy, the car to his buddy, and his buddy said, "Ooh-wee, that's a NASCAR." Acronym my butt. And people, again, they're terrible drivers. People try to get away with everything. I mean, you see left-hand turns from the far right lane, right-hand turns from the left lane, tailgating, running red lights. I think when I wasn't looking, they changed the traffic laws. But with much research, I've found that a green light now means stop. A red light means go. And a yellow means go really fast. We go to Florida sometimes, and I swear they have the worst drivers. It's because they got drivers from all over the world, and most of them are on vacation. Mental vacation. Sunday drivers every day of the week, I tell you. It's like a melting pot of crazy drivers. Give me your sick, you're old, you're crazy drivers. People drive like zombies. The Walking Dead, we have the driving dead. Must find brains. Boy, that's an understatement. Find brains. Use them, don't eat them. Sunday drivers every day of the week, I tell you. I've got an Uncle Sid who's a terrible driver. I saw recently that his side of his car was all smashed in. He sideswiped something. I said, "Uncle Sid, do you know what happened? I mean, there had to be a noise, right? Didn't you hear something?" He said, "Yeah, I just kept going till it stopped." Now, Uncle Sid's given us some gems of wisdom like, if you can't fix it with a hammer, it must be an electrical problem. Time goes by so quick anymore. It creeps up on you like a bad pair of underwear. The difference between sane people and crazy people. Crazy people got caught. Have we come to the bottom of the gene pool in what we watched? I mean, reality shows? Are you kidding me? What do you get out of that? I don't understand. Well, I watch them to make me feel better about myself. I feel better without watching them. Those shows scare me. Those people scare me. Would you want someone in your face with a camera in what's supposed to be your personal daily life? They aren't even real reality. The shows are at least partly scripted. And whatever happened to regular TV seasons? I mean, mid-season finales. You got to be kidding. You don't know what's on anymore and when. How can you keep up with the show if you don't know when it's on? In the good old days in the 70s and 80s, you had a hard set schedule, and TV Guide would tell you of any changes. Now you have to check electronic schedules. You used to know the shows started in September and ended in June. Now your show can start in February and have a mid-season finale in March. In those series shows that operate like soap operas and nothing ever gets resolved. I mean, you watch for an hour and a new twist comes up. If you miss one episode, you're lost. Yeah, lost. That was one that it really ticked me off. And I stopped watching it because I'd miss one episode and I'm lost. Wonder how they got the name, huh? Have we bottomed out in the creativity pool for commercials too? They're getting stupider. We have so many stations, but there are more commercials on them. The later you get into a movie, the more commercials and the longer they get. It's crazy. Don't watch late night TV. It gets even worse. Also, you can tell the demographics of the people watching the program by the products that they're advertising. If you get AARP, walk-in tubs, and adult diapers, you know you're watching Matlock. What's really sad is when you're watching the Partridge Family and they advertise the same stuff, and you realize you just shifted demographics. How about loud commercials? Ever notice when commercials come on, they're louder than the show or the movie? Especially at night. You're watching along, and the sound is nice like this, and boom, they're selling something to you. The commercial comes on screaming about their product. Do you have erectile dysfunction? No, leave me alone. They get beat down by a commercial as if they don't have enough problems. I guess psychologists are studying these things and telling advertisers the psychology of buying. there are tons of tourism commercials, like this one. Want a real adventure on this vacation? Think Ohio, then think again. Think again about the vast expanses of land, north, south, east, west, that make up this great state. Beautiful fields and roads, in between our amusement parks. That's all we got. We are something special. Ohio. We're not Florida, but who is?
Why do people want to bring their dogs to work? I understand if it's an occasional thing, like you have to give them medicine every 2 hours or something, but otherwise, no. Let me share with you how I look at the whole pet at work thing by coming at it from a different angle. Think about your coworker or friend or maybe even your boss who insists on showing you a picture of their child or grandchild every single day. Not only are you forced to look and smile and make some positive noise with your throat, but the picture is almost identical to the one from yesterday. Today, he's sucking the big toe on his left foot while wearing a Jane's Addiction t-shirt. Oh, look at that tiny rock and roll t-shirt. Oh. Yesterday, it was his right foot in a Boyz II Men diaper cover. Hip baby. But still, by the end of week 1, you asked your supervisor if you could switch desks, and seriously, no one would switch because they know that asshat was forcing people to look at pictures of his kid. At the end of week 2, you made a voodoo doll of him and one of his car, hoping either one would blow a gasket. End of week 3, and you have now band together with other people in picture-sharing distance, and you've started to plot his murder. Some of you have to feel this way, yeah? Look, I have 2 kids of my own. Love them. I could stand up here and show you photos of them all night, but you don't care. No, you don't. And you shouldn't, that's my point. They are my kids. They are at my house. They have nothing to do with this. Same with dogs in offices. People love their dogs, and that is wonderful. But just like we have schools and nannies for kids, we have dog walkers for dogs. Use one. If you want to work with your dog, then work from home or become a veterinarian or a dog walker or something. Please don't bring your animal into my job. Your animal that smells, that can bring in ticks with Lyme's disease, that will need to go out several times per day, that will make me sneeze because I'm allergic. Yes, people can be allergic to dogs, and by people, I mean me. I realize that some animals are medically used to help with anxiety. I support this. At your house. Our cat helped my daughter a great deal, but there are many other ways to deal with anxiety at work than bringing in a sniffing, licking, farting, belching poop machine. The argument will be made, I'm sure, that after being at home with our pets for 2 months, they will suffer when we finally go back to work, but I don't buy it. Yes, animals would probably like having us around for extra ear scratches and belly rubs and possible treats, but they had a whole routine in place when you used to go to work. They will be fine. And consider if I'm willing to plot your murder over baby photos, imagine what I might do over a dog.
Hi, welcome to my video journal. Today is May 10th, 2020. I've been in self-isolation for almost 2 months. Woo! It's been a long time. Anyway, today's topic is marriage. Why or why not? My partner and I have been discussing the idea of getting married. Possibly. When we are able to finally, hold a wedding with both of our families. I've been at my parents' home and he's been by himself. I suspect a part of this newfound interest in marriage is that he's tired of being in the house alone, but it's sweet. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to get married. It seems like a simple question. Do I love my partner? If yes, then of course, get married. I know so many people who get divorced or worse, are stuck in a miserable relationship. I believe our marriage would be good. Our relationship is great. But I imagine most people who get married start off believing that their relationship will succeed where others have failed. I'm not naive enough to think that we're something special. I asked a bunch of people for advice, and I got some conflicting answers. My parents said, marriage is wonderful, but a lot of work. My one friend said, don't do it. That's it. That's all she said. Don't do it. That really freaked me out. My neighbor, who's about 75, she told me that I had to get married if I wanted kids. If I didn't want kids, then it didn't matter. Which is an interesting take. I don't know if I want kids. Then is that really a good enough reason to commit my entire life to someone? I don't know. So I'm not satisfied with any of this advice, and I decided to take to history and literature to see what is marriage, and why marriage or why not marriage. I recently read a play by Margaret Cavendish, the Duchess of Newcastle, which was written in 1660. She was, by all accounts, happily married, and enjoyed an artistic partnership with her husband. For the times, she was free to do pretty much whatever she wanted. She dressed on the wild side and held these play reading parties with her friends, where they would discuss all of these modern ideas. So from this description, you'd think that her plays would really tout the value of marriage, right? No. Here's what one of her characters says about marriage. But the case I should marry the best of men, if any best there be. So right off the bat, she's not even sure there are men worth marrying. She continues, yet would a married life have more crosses and sorrows than pleasures, freedoms, or happiness? More crosses and sorrows. This isn't looking good. Nay, to those that are virtuous is a greater restraint than a monastery. So, marrying a virtuous man is worse than living in a monastery. What does that even mean? I mean, I guess she doesn't want to spend all weekend in church and then being told how to be a good wife all day long. That would be annoying. Then she says, and since there is so much folly, vanity, and falsehood in men, why should women trouble and vex themselves for their sake? She is clearly not a fan of marriage. Remember, this is 1660. This is not a feminist from 1979. When you think about the historical life, consider that marriage has always been a bad choice for women. In fact, it's not really been a choice at all. You either get married, or you die in poverty, or somehow you are able to support yourself. Maybe your parents are wealthy, and they fund your life, or maybe you earn money on your own. But in 1660 England, that would really only be a maid, a teacher, a tailor, a shoemaker, an embroiderer, or if you were inclined to uncommon occupations, you could be a lawyer, a healer, a prostitute. But that's about it. Even if you did any of these jobs, you were certainly going to be paid far less than you deserved, and far, far less than most men, even in the lowest of jobs. Sounds familiar. So suppose a woman in 1660 was not able to make her own living. Then her other choices were to become a nun or get married. So you chose marriage. And then what? Your money, your property, your children, your body, they all now belong to your husband. If he wants to spend all of the money, he can. If he wants to have a mistress and move her into the house, he can. If he wants to lock you in the closet, he can. If he wants to sell your heirlooms from your grandmother for beer money, he can. So I see why even if Margaret Cavendish had a good marriage, she might be inclined to warn other women away from it. Kind of like my friend who said don't do it. She had a really bad experience and she doesn't want anyone else to go through that. From a historical point of view, marriage was not great. And even women who got lucky and had good, kind husbands like Margaret knew it was a bad choice for most women. Has anything changed? I feel like now I definitely have a choice. I mean, I have a good job. I don't need to marry someone for money. I'm not being forced into an arranged marriage. I also have the option to get out of the marriage if the relationship doesn't work out. I think that's a plus on the marriage side. Women are able to file for divorce. Wow. Divorce is a plus. That's depressing. Not sure what to do with that concept. I can't very well go to my partner and say, hey, I've decided we should get married because if it doesn't work out, we can always get a divorce. That's just wrong. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I'm searching the secrets of a happy marriage. Oh, there are thousands of books about how to do this right. Does that one say, choose to be attracted to your partner? Can you choose that? Interesting. What does this one say? The secret to a happy marriage? Separate bathrooms. Oh my. Here we've got spend time apart. Have your own hobbies. Give each other space. Don't be afraid to go on separate vacations. Remember that you are a person on your own, not just half of a couple. Most of the modern advice about marriage seems to be stay the hell away from the other person. 1660 till now, that's the best anyone has come up with. From don't get married if you don't have to if you are married, don't spend too much time together. Does not speak well for marriage, does it? Well. Okay then, that gives me a lot to think about. I look forward to your thoughtful comments and advice, and also, how do we feel about a wedding party on Zoom? Yes? No? I'm leaning towards no. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video journal entry where I am going to talk about where to buy toilet paper in town and the best website to order it from. Seems like some people are still having trouble with this, and I have a few good tips. So until then, bye.
Oh, bonjour. Comment ça va? How are you today? Oui, I am here from Paris watching the festival with you, the Quarantine Comedy Festival, drinking my café because I love the café, n'est-ce pas? And also, what's this? Very cool, très chic. Alors, t-shirt. Oui, oui. If you want to be cool like the French ladies, like moi, go to the website and buy yourself a t-shirt. You can have the men's t-shirt, the women's t-shirt, the little tiny baby t-shirt. If you don't want a t-shirt, you can have the mug for the cafe. We make the little stickers. We make the refrigerator magnets. And I believe, incroyable, there's even a tote bag. Oh la la, c'est joli. Follow the website you see at the screen, fluiditytheater.threadless.com, and you can buy all these lovely things and be just so cool and chic like me, the French lady. Ah, toujours l'amour. Au revoir.
Ever since the day I first saw you, I hoped to win you somehow. Now I'm staying in till pickings are slim, 'cause someday this shit's going down. I'm gonna build me a shelter made of concrete and of steel. I'll fill it up with water and ready to eat meals. Rifles, bullets, kerosene, it's all part of my plan. You'll finally take a chance on me when I am the last man. Now we all know it's coming in some way, shape, or form. Maybe mutant zombie hippies or freaky solar storm that wipes out all the telecom, destroys the power plants. You'll have no choice but to fall for me when I am the last man. If you stay here in my fallout shelter, I'll keep you safe from harm. Don't care if the world goes helter-skelter if you're here in my arms. Now I know your fella Jerry ain't quite right in the head, and when the shit gets hairy, the first to wind up dead. But I'll be sitting pretty and you'll finally understand I'm not having bad catch after all when I am the last man. Now Desmond, he's a smart one and he's good at fixing cars, but when there's no more gasoline, he won't be getting far. He'll stall out in an open field and then they'll eat his face, but you won't see such tragedies if you're here in my place. If you stay here in my fallout shelter, I'll keep you safe from harm. Don't care if the world goes helter-skelter if you're here in my arms. Now I've got your favorite novels and a couple good guitars, some games to play for a rainy day, and a fully stocked wet bar. When all the world around becomes a dangerous wasteland, we'll live it up in my little hut, they'll all be gone, we'll carry on. The world of shit won't mind a bit, we're safe and sound here underground. I'll win it all just by default when I am the last man.